So, Mafex. This is the first Mafex review I've done so far, but it is not the first Mafex figure I own. As I am a fan of Batman v Superman, yeah, I know, if you disagree with me, let's fight about it or whatever. I've been picking up the Mafex figures from the movie. The original Batman they made is truly incredible and has been one of my favorite figures of the character I've ever owned. The Wonder Woman they put out is a bit of a step down. I don't hate the face as much as other people do, but it's a very boring looking figure. The Armored Batman is a gorgeous looking figure that was missing key accessories to make it a worthwhile purchase. The decision to make the Suicide Squad figures wildly out of scale with the BVS figures makes no sense to me, but whatever. I'm on board with this line until they make an objectively horrible figure. Hopefully the subject of today's review is not said horrible figure. What we'll be looking at today is the Knightmare Batman figure from Mafex. So here he is right out of the box. The look of the figure is really great, and he has a new head sculpt which includes a lighter skin tone than the previous releases. Which is good because the color was less white and more Trump. It's a good enough likeness to Ben Affleck's mouth, I suppose. The goggles are attached to the mask, which is probably for the best. You don't really want them sliding off all the time, but it would have been cool to place the goggles over his eyes. The body is nearly identical to the regular Batman, besides the bullet holes in the bat symbol. All the tape and exposed bits of his greaves are looking awesome here. There's a ton of subtle weathering on everything to make it look worn, but not comedically so. His little ascot, or whatever this is a separate piece, so it moves around freely as to not hinder any articulation. The pants, gun, holster, and boots are just as detailed as the rest. The duster Batman's wearing is sculpted in a nice rubbery material, so it's flexible, but not as accommodating as you'd want for posing. As I said before, his little scarf thing doesn't hinder his head movement at all, which allows for a very good range of motion all around. His arms and leg both use these drop-down joints, which are real nifty for posing, but can get a little loose sometimes. His second belt and gun holster hinder the leg articulation slightly, but it's still manageable. This is one of the few Mafex figures where I don't need to pray to Satan before swapping hands. It doesn't at all feel like anything's going to snap off here. However, knowing Mafex's track record with quality control, I wouldn't get too comfortable with this. Let's get into accessories. First off, he has this pistol. Not much to say here, it's a pistol. It's so weird posing a Batman figure with a gun. You can, of course, pop this gun into his holster on his leg. Now for the more interesting gun. He comes with this machine gun that is very well detailed. Everything from the little cloth on the front to the Joker card on the back is represented well here. This is a very good looking gun. However, he looks a bit bored when posed with it. If this figure had an alternate yelling head, this would look a bit better, but when posed neutrally, he looks way better. Next up is two pair of hands that allow him to hold onto these binoculars, which is a good look. I can't quite get them to 100% line up with his eyes, but that just might be on my end. What we have next is a completely different head sculpt. Here we have our first unmasked Ben Affleck Bruce Wayne head. This is a very decent likeness. It's not amazing, but it's passable for sure. The only downside to this is that he's got a strange kind of grimace on his face and messed up hair, because this is supposed to recreate a very specific moment from the movie. This is supposed to be mimicking the scene where Superman rips the mask off his head. To further recreate that scene, the figure comes with an empty cowl, and if you have the previously released Superman figure, you can attach this new included hand to the cowl, which I'm sure would be really awesome to display. So that's all the accessories for this figure. And if that's all he came with, I would recommend this figure for people like me, who like the design and can't get enough Batman figures. But the reason that this figure is a must-buy is the fact that he acts as a free DLC for an older figure that didn't get the accessories he should have when first released. That's right, I'm talking about the Armored Batman figure. Knightmare Batman comes with the accessory this figure should have had when he was originally released, the Kryptonite Spear. He comes with 2 additional hands so that this figure can hold his new accessory. This finally feels correct, but it still feels a little bit off. Ah, there we go. He also comes with a battle-damaged helmet where you can see Bruce underneath. Now we can finally recreate the criminally misunderstood Martha scene. These 2 simple accessories bring a figure I initially thought was seriously lackluster into one of the best looking figures in the display. Now I just need a Superman to finish the scene. So that's Knightmare Batman. An extremely good looking figure in his own right that actually fixed the problems of an entirely different figure. Because of that little fact, I would consider him a must-buy figure if you're even slightly interested in this line at all. So if you want a new Batman figure with a unique design, or if you just want to spruce up your boring old armored Batman figure, I cannot recommend this guy enough. Hey gang, thanks for watching the review of the Batman. There will be more Batman videos probably coming up. The next review I do will probably be the new Mafex Joker, not the coat one, but the suit one. But until then, if you want to follow me on the social media, as the kids today are calling it, the gram, you can follow me on the gram. I got one of them. I'll put the link in the description, because YouTube decided to get rid of annotations, which is one of the dumbest things they've ever done. And they've made a lot of dumb decisions. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.